Hi, I'm Brian Lees, and welcome to the 2023 CAF Festival.
Thousands of people from across the country made their way to West Texas the second week of June to attend the 11th Children's Art and Literacy Festival in Abilene, Texas, the storybook capital of America. This year's festival celebrated the art of Brian Lees, the award-winning children's book illustrator and author, whose books went on display June 8th at the National Center for Children's Illustrated Literature, affectionately known as the Nickel. Brian flew here with his family to take part in the festival events, including welcoming a new addition to the storybook sculpture project, Evan and His Dog, which was inspired by Brian's Caldecott Honor award-winning book, The Rough Patch. Steve Neves, Abilene storybook sculptor, explains how he created the beautifully crafted bronze sculpture.
Here's the illustration, here's the drawing that's to scale, so I can take measurements and then scale it up to my sculpture. And then I did a reverse of that same image. I think being a sculptor, I need to understand what it looks like from behind. These are wonderful illustrations. Brian Lees did such a great job with details, these realistic folds and textures of the tail and all the joints and everything. It's just very believable. And here's the almost completed version of Evan. If this were solidly clay, it would be very, very heavy and very, very expensive. And so I will start with insulation foam. This will be essentially his torso, and I'll stack this in layers and round it out. It's a great experience to know that they're going to be here long after I'm gone.
Neves has created more than 30 storybook sculptures, the largest collection of its kind in America, if not the world. Brian Lees' books inspired all the festival imagery, from buttons people earned as they completed events, to street banners and passes, to book readings and costumed characters. The festival kicked off Thursday morning with Group Day for more than 1,000 children from daycares, scout troops, and other nonprofits. At the historic Paramount Theater, they enjoyed dramatic book readings, completed an art activity, and watched the ventriloquist show Nancy and Her Friends. Groups then split up for other festival fun, including the Wombat Said Come In live show at the Abilene Public Library, Professor QB at Mentor Park, singing and dancing with Joe McDermott, as well as book readings and art activities at Clear Fork Bank and the Grace Museum. Thursday afternoon, the free public portion of CAF began with a costume contest at the Elks Art Center Ballroom, with children dressed as Brian Lees' book characters. After the contest, the Storybook Parade marched down Cypress Street filled with storybook characters. The parade ended at the Adamson Spalding Storybook Garden, where Evan the Fox and his dog were unveiled to the delight of the crowd. Families danced and played during Evan's magnificent garden party before heading to the Paramount Theater for Sketch with Brian. Brian shared stories about his family and his career in bookmaking. Families were given Storybook Capital pencils and sketch pads so they could draw along with the artist. Afterwards, people could purchase books supplied by the Nickel. People lined up in the Paramount lobby for Brian to sign their favorite book. Passes were required to attend Friday and Saturday festival events. Both mornings started with autographs and hugs and a hearty meal at the Storybook Characters Breakfast in the Adamson Spalding Storybook Garden. Inside the Abilene Convention Center, children were entertained by Corn Pop the Clown and his ceiling-high balloon creations. Outside, children pet and fed May Farm animals. Everyone cooled off at Evans Garden Sprinklers misting station. Families laughed with Professor QB in Mentor Park and tried their hand at making music at the Abilene Philharmonic Instrument Petting Zoo. Sky King's Falconry delivered bird of prey displays and educational talks about these beautiful creatures. McMurray biology professor Dr. Joe Brandt taught children about echolocation during the live bat experience outside the Little Bat book readings. Little ones explored the toddler sensory room at the Center for Contemporary Arts, while older kids performed hands-on science experiments inspired by Brian's books at the STEAM room, where they made compasses and catapults and learned about density and adaptation. In Everman Park, the Storybook Capital Express took rides around the Dr. Seuss sculptures. Look out for Mr. Grinch. Festival goers attended dramatic readings at the 5 venues of Brian's most popular books. Each reading featured costumed characters followed by an art activity. The activities included making alligators, clay frogs, and bats that fly. Over at the Majestic, families got to see former CAF costumed characters again while listening to those characters' books and collecting a vintage CAF button. At the Paramount on Friday and Saturday nights, a packed house attended the live Little Bat musical produced by McMurray University based on Brian's book series. The musical included original music and costumes. For an extra fee, children could attend a variety of art workshops, including make-your-own storybook sculpture with Steve Neves. Brian Lees taught multiple art workshops in the art studio at the Nickel. Festival goers made CAF collectibles at Board and Brush Studio and keepsakes about the art of baseball, which was hosted by the 12th Armored Division Memorial Museum. Children could also decorate cookies at McKay's Bakery, get their face painted, or have their caricature drawn at the Center for Contemporary Arts. Families could also purchase a lunch from the young audiences of Abilene's Enchanted Eatery and dine with storybook characters in the Wooten Ballroom. Many families teamed up to play the Goose Chase game by downloading the app and completing the missions around the festival to earn prizes. On Sunday, the fun continued at the Abilene Zoo, where children could earn their final CAF button and enjoy dramatic readings of Bats in the Band and Spy Hops and Belly Flops, followed by an animal encounter and picture with the book's main character, Little Bat. The 2023 CAF Festival was enjoyed by thousands of people from cities across Texas and states across the nation who created their own childhood adventure in the official storybook capital of America.